You're
Okay.
listening to Dene Michael here at True Radio, the home of proper good music, and on Sundays, proper good interviews. And this week, we're very, very fortunate to have the fantastic singer-songwriter, and it's Peter Donegan. Hi, Peter.
How are you doing, Dean?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Hot.
I know. Enjoying this hot weather as well. I've had to turn the fans off here because it picks the fans up when we're recording the interview.
Yes, yes, same here. So if I start melting, you know what's happening.
Well, it's lovely to have you on the program, Peter.
Well,
And
thank you for having me here, Dean.
we've got quite a few things in common, actually, haven't we? When we've been talking off air there.
We
So
do, don't we?
we do. First of all, is The Voice UK. We've both done that program, and
We
you
have
did
indeed.
ever so well. I actually watched it live when he was on. It was brilliant. What was your
Oh, well,
experience like there?
it was great fun. It was great fun. Yeah, they treated me really nicely, and it was just an all-round good fun experience, really. I mean, nerve-wracking for that first blind audition. I'd never done anything like that before. You know what it's like.
I know.
You know, just a lot. It's a lot of waiting. You know.
There's a lot of waiting around, isn't it?
It
And
was,
then,
and I was doing a gig in was it Stockport the night before, and that ran over time because somebody had said, "Oh, we don't have a curfew. It's great." And I was going, "It's all right for you."
yeah, you've got to be up in the morning.
I had to be in the studio at 6:30.
That's right. Yeah, and then
So
did you
I
have to?
actually I
Because
never slept the night before. Didn't sleep at all.
with the nerves. Yeah, yeah,
Well, yeah, the nerves, and you end up in that situation of, okay, if I go to sleep, I'll have 3 hours sleep. If I go to sleep now, I'll have 2 hours of sleep. It is like
yeah. And obviously, when you're tired, your voice doesn't work properly, does it? Well, mine doesn't anyway.
no, it doesn't work as well as it does, you know. But thanks to vocal zones, it pulls me through.
That's what I had to do as well. But the coaches are brilliant, aren't they? The vocal coaches you get to work with before. Mine was called Jay. He was fabulous.
Oh,
And
lovely. Yeah, no,
yeah,
we had some lovely ones. My first one was Philly. She was lovely. You know, they change it depending on what you're doing, don't they? But you know,
yeah,
it's
that's right. Was that the Scottish lady? Was she
no,
Scottish, Philly? Oh, right. It was a Scottish lady
it
as
was a
well.
lady from Kent.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you did the voice, and you actually got up. Tom turned round for you, which was fabulous,
We did. That was
and
very kind of him.
you actually got to sing a song with him, which was
I
great.
I
What
did.
was
Yeah.
what was that like?
That was surreal. It was a real pinch me moment. You know, I mean, it's like uh, I've always, because I mean, always been proud of Dad for writing "Never Fall in Love Again." You know, and of course, not many people realize that you know, Dad released it, or wrote and released it first. You know,
Yeah,
um, and it was just one of those moments that you go, right, okay, now we're going to do it, are we? No preparation, okay, you know, and you know, there was that bit. I mean, like I've explained, I've got a YouTube video up on YouTube. You can find it on my website and everything at peterdonegan.com, and it explains what goes on. I mean, there was, you know, that moment of when we finished. I finished singing, and Tom spoke to me, which we all see, and I actually went down and shook his hand and everything, and that's why, you know, when you're one on one, that's when it was put forward. You know, should we do Never Fall?
yeah, yeah. Of course,
Uh,
your father wrote that for Tom Jones, isn't he? Lonnie
well,
Donegan.
he wrote it. My dad wrote that originally because, well, two reasons. Number one, he was totally enamored by the sound that he'd heard coming from Ray Charles, you know, and he wanted to sound like Ray Charles, but unfortunately, the doctor said no, it's not possible. So he thought he'll just write a song, you know, um, and you know, so he wrote that song. And of course, it was coming from a place of genuine heartbreak, because Dad had just gone through his second divorce,
Right, right.
you know, so that's where that came from.
Yeah,
And and he released it, but they had to do two versions because Pi, the record label at the time, were a jazz label, so they were permanently fighting with Dad in particular because Dad wasn't. While he came from a jazz background with Chris Barber and everybody, you know, it wasn't it wasn't what Dad was doing, you know. So Dad wanted to do a gospel, you know, a gospel blues style number, which is the way it was written. They said no, we want to do a jazz version. They recorded both, and of course, the record label won,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
song
yeah,
didn't go anywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
That wasn't what was trending at the time, you know, and it was stupid, really, the record label to do that. But then a few years later, Tom was hanging around with Dad because obviously, you know, Dad was a big influence on Tom as well, And he said, "Oh, I haven't heard this one before, boyo."
Boy, oh.
I says, "Yeah, now there's any other bugger." So, did you mind if I give it a go? He says, "Yeah, yeah, fine." And the rest is history, as they say,
Yeah,
because it was a top 10 hit for Tom.
fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Well,
You
what
know,
we'll
but I
do,
mean, doing that with him was absolutely surreal. And like I said, the band knew of the song, but not to do it. And the band leader Dave, I mean, he said to me, "So we can use my piano if you want." So
yeah,
I
yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
and it
Weren't the
was.
band fantastic as well? The backing
Oh
band
yeah,
there.
absolutely
Oh,
fantastic. But it was kind of like a very high pressure open mic night.
yeah, yeah, it was, yeah. And
That's what it's
nothing's
like.
planned, is it? Nothing that piece with Tom wasn't planned at all. You don't expect this to happen.
No, no, no. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't understand the process of post editing.
Yeah,
Because they think they think that first round is live, and it's not. That was recorded in October.
yeah,
Then it gets edited because I mean, if they kept everything in, I mean, the first episode would last a week if you
yeah,
aired it
yeah,
every night.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
so I mean, Tom and I actually sung all three verses and choruses of that song.
yeah, yeah. I've
And it
actually
was
seen that on YouTube. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's
yeah, and
fantastic.
that's how the band were able to, because I mean the song is like four chords, round and round the circle.
Yeah,
So once the band cottoned on to what I was doing arrangement wise, they were able to come in for the last chorus, and that's where, on TV they've cut from the second verse straight into the last chorus.
yeah, yeah. They did that with me when I did a song called "Never Give Up on a Good Thing" from George Benson, and
Mm.
they did the same. They edited out certain parts because all the pre thing that you do before with your families and your friends and everything went on
Yeah.
forever, so they had to cut
Oh,
it
it
down.
does.
Yeah,
It does. I mean, unfortunately for me, there was lots of stuff that they couldn't, because of my family and friends. They couldn't air it. They kept saying, "Right, can we do a different take, which is PG?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fabulous. Well, look, what
Yeah.
we'll do, Peter, we're going to play some more songs here in between our interviews, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Stuart Epps because you're actually working with Stuart at the moment. And
We
we
are
had,
working with Stuart.
yeah, we had Stuart on a few weeks ago. So, Peter Donegan, thank you so much for being with us here on True Radio, and we'll speak to you very soon.